Hello everyone, this is Mr. Honeya, and today we are going to be going over carbohydrates as part of our nutrient unit here in sports nutrition. So this will lead us all the way up to the end of our 9 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing I want you guys to do is just to take a look at your notes right now. These are obviously the carb notes that we have, and it says fact or fiction, circle facts, and cross out fiction. So I just want to see where you guys are at. I wouldn't say circle, but you can go ahead and bold the ones that you believed are facts and then underline what you think are fiction. Just go ahead and do that and see what you've got going on, just sort of as a beginner to this lesson. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So carbohydrates. So what we're going to be learning is what carbs are, along with the foods that they're in and how they So carbohydrates, they are one of the macronutrients. They are the larger nutrients, and they are how we obtain energy. And the energy that we have is used for allowing our muscles to work. They are responsible for our central nervous system and making sure that it's responsive. They also help metabolize fats, and then they also influence our insulin levels, which is very important. Um, as you will see here, it says as we take food in, insulin breaks down our food and then gets our food delivered to our cells as energy. So it's very important that we understand that insulin is a key thing in this whole thing with carbohydrates. Now, there are three carbohydrates that you have. You have starches, you have sugar, and we have fiber. And we're going to talk about that very briefly. So starches are what are known as complex carbs. So they take longer to break down. It's more complicated. If you think about a math problem, if a math problem is like 3 times 2 plus 7 divided by 72 plus 4, that is very complex. It's going to take you a longer time to get that math problem solved. So versus a simple problem like 2 plus 2. So because it takes longer, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, or because it's complicated, it's going to take a little bit more longer. So what we have are potatoes, whole wheat, beans. These are all starches that take longer to break down in the body and can provide energy for longer periods of time. Next, you have what are called sugars. Now, we have good and bad, and what these are like is the quick energy source. So that's like a 2 plus 2 in a math problem. It's simple. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Boom. It goes in, it goes out. It's easy. So the thing is, you have good as well as you have bad. So good sugars are typically found in fruit, vegetables, and dairy. A lot of times people associate these items with being more sweet, and that is why we crave it as humans, because we are naturally wanting to see or taste that sweetness, and we find that in those types of things. But we also have the bad kind, which are refined sugars, artificial sugars, and these are typically found in soda, candy, cake. So that sweet flavor you taste when you eat, a chocolate candy bar. Refined sugar doesn't really have any sort of good nutritive value. So let's think about this. So we talked a little bit about how, the sugars are a quick energy source. So you need it as a quick, they work extremely rapidly. And then you have, for instance, your carbs, or correction, your starches, your more complex carbs, which provide energy over a longer period of time and digest slowly. So which one are you going with when you look at these scenarios? So I just want you to just kind of type where you're going with. You can bold it in your notes, however you wish to do it. Or better yet, let's just put it this way. If you're doing the notes, yeah. So which one are you going? So in the beginning of second period and you didn't have breakfast, you're tired and you need to make it to the end of the period. What do you have for first lunch? So it's the beginning of second period and you didn't have any breakfast, you're tired and need to make it to the end of the period, but you have first lunch coming up. So what are you going to eat in order to make it to the end of the third period, the end of fourth period? Are you going to have an apple or are you going to have a cup of noodles? What are you eating? So you need to make it to first lunch and you need to have first lunch. So you're just in second period. You need to make it to first lunch. What are you going to do to make it through second period? You eat an apple or you eating a cup of noodles? So you just write that down in your notes. You have a cross country match on Saturday morning. What are you eating for dinner Friday night? So are you eating the spaghetti with the bread and the pasta, or are you eating the bacon and the eggs? So are we eating spaghetti and pasta, or are we eating breakfast for dinner? So which one do you think? Next, you were tired after a long day at school and now you have to walk home. You're drained, but you make your way down the street. On your way home, you pass a gas station to get a drink that will help you get the rest of the way. What are you getting? Whoa! All right, so here we have a little bit of a little bit of a different scenario. Are we getting the Coca-Cola that is sugary, or are we getting the Coca-Cola that is diet? So go ahead and make your pick. I'm just interested to see what y'all say. So then we have our final carb, which is fiber. Now, fiber is a carbohydrate. Don't get it twisted. Fiber is a carbohydrate that cannot be digested by the body. All right, so it is found in fruits and vegetables, grains, and beans. So where you find complex carbs, where you find simple carbs, you will also more than likely find fiber. So this aids in the digestion and the weight maintenance, and it's also a good source of vitamins and minerals. So a lot of times people say that you need your fiber in order to go to the bathroom regularly and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. It also helps maintain healthy colon health, and then also helps push that food along so your body can utilize it in the best way possible and then get rid of what it does not use. So fiber is very important, and it's one of the things that we do not get enough of. So we will probably highlight fiber a little bit when we come back, or correction, when I come back. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is the final carb. So the big question is, are carbs bad? That is the big question. So just write on your notes. Do you think they're all bad? Do you think they're not? What do you guys think? So I just want to leave you guys with this final thought. Consider carbs like a gas tank for your car. All right. Some cars, they're going to need diesel. Some cars use regular. Some cars use premium. There's all different kinds of, you know, gas types for your car, just as there's types of cars. And then there are all types of carbohydrates for the different bodies that we have. For some of us, we can really benefit from eating a lot more fruit because of our diet. We can benefit from eating a little bit more bread because of our lifestyle. So, for example, if you're someone that runs a lot, you're like doing cross country, you're going to be the kind of person that may consume a little bit more of the carbs that are complex. But if you're someone who needs to have a little bit more fiber in the diet, you may be the person that is going to consume more carbs from vegetables and fruits. And then in some cases, some people want to lose weight, like on a ketogenic diet. So they may eat little amounts of carbs. So, for example, that might be a car that's really tiny, but can take a little bit of gas and then go a long way with it. So it's one of those things where it's like there are people who can eat a little amount of carbs and go, further amounts in their daily life with those small amount of carbs. So that's kind of how I want you to consume, how to think about carbs, is that carbs are a lot different. They're different for each person. And, ultimately, the important thing is that you consume carbs based on your lifestyle and activity level. Now, that's going to conclude your notes for today. So, what I want you guys to do is to go ahead, submit these notes, and then you have a carbohydrate module that you are going to start working on. So go ahead and start working on that carbohydrate module. It's going to reinforce a lot of what I've already talked about in this. So go ahead, knock that out, get that done, and you guys have a good rest of the week. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. All right.